Hi guys, Zambina here, welcome back to another speed build video, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm very excited for this build because this is my first speed build with the new Paranormal stuff pack. I bought it, I think a couple of days after it came out because I had to get paid first because I'm not good at budgeting, so I was a little bit broke. But I got it. I absolutely love the items that we have. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I love all the how colorful they are. Absolutely gorgeous. That couch, we're gonna talk about that couch. But this build is also a pack restricted build, not just this Paranormal stuff pack in base game because it's just a stuff pack. There's not a lot of items. But what I did was I made it the Paranormal stuff pack and the Realm of Magic game pack, and obviously base game, because I made this house for two Paranormal siblings, so to speak. That wasn't my original plan. My original plan for this was, I didn't really have one. I struggled with this build to begin with, I will admit, because when I initially started this, I wasn't really inspired. I was inspired, but I was struggling to think of what to do with it, because I know I'll probably want to make a bigger build with this type of thing and incorporate the magical stuff as well, but I wasn't really sure what to do for a initial first build. But this is kind of what it evolved into. It was originally only meant to be for one sim, or maybe for a couple, but then I realized I wanted 2 bedrooms, and I made it for 2 siblings. So it is a brother and a sister, and they are both into like paranormal / magical stuff. So the brother is a spellcaster and the sister is a psychic, medium, paranormal investigator, you know, those things that we get with the new stuff pack. So they have obviously a bedroom each, and then there's going to be a basement, which they have a room each in the basement to each practice their paranormal hobbies / art / whatever you want to call it. But I really quite like that, and the basement rooms are like my favorite rooms in this build. They're really nice. I really like how they came out. But yeah, initially this build I struggled with it, not because I don't like the new items, but because I think I struggled to find what to do with it. That might also be because I'm not used to pack restricting myself. Again, something I'm trying to get used to because various reasons. Like, it's good to have more people be able to download stuff off the gallery, because obviously the less packs you use, the more chance it is that more people will be able to use it, because, you know, not everyone is fortunate enough to own all the packs. I don't even own all the packs. I own almost all of them now. Just a few of the stuff packs I don't have yet, but I'll probably grab them in the next sale. And also because it tends to be a little bit faster to build when you're pack restricting yourself, because you have less items to scroll through and choose from. At least that's my experience. But then it can also be hard and take longer that way, because you're restricting yourself, and those items that you may usually use for a certain room or a certain style might not be available for you because you're pack restricting yourself. So it's a double-edged sword, really, but I think it's something good to get used to. And I know I've been wanting to do more base game. Like, I was playing around with the idea of doing like a 7 days of base game or something like that. Like, put up, like, pre-record and put up like a build every day of like 7 different base game builds. Not just houses, like, it could be like parks and community lots and things like that. Whatever we can have with base game. But I was playing around with that because I know base game is obviously, you know, anyone who has a game can use it. It's good to practice. It's good to practice making interesting looking things with base game, because base game can be quite limiting with the items that you have and the styles that you have. But I think that's a good practice for creativity and like being creative with your builds and your styles and what you do with certain items, especially if you have things like tool and move objects, things like that. I think it's a good way to practice being a better builder. I'd like to think so. But as you can see, the outside is almost complete at this point. I wasn't really sure what to do with the terraces here, like the patios. It was hard to like find stuff to put there because I'm limited on like plants and activities, obviously, because base game. But I'm just basically just putting down seating, some plants. You see I've got a fountain in the front. I didn't want to clutter them up too much. It was, yeah, because I feel like the house is quite a lot anyway, like with the colors going on, like the fences, the windows, like there's quite a lot going on. And this house is not simple or plain looking really. And then the landscaping is quite colourful as well, although I do have to admit I love the landscaping. I love the colours that I put together, like that warm yellow, the really like bright saturated pink, and the pale blue of the flowers. Like I really like those colours together. I like bright colours, I like saturated colours. I'm not a pastel kind of gal, like I like bright and saturated, and maybe less so now than when I was a kid. Like I feel like, you know, your taste matures a little bit maybe as you get older, but I still very much enjoy like bright, saturated, like pow in your face colors. That's my jam. And you can see I'm just starting to work on the basements. I will be finishing them last, but I'm just kind of working out the layout of them so that I could put the ladders down to figure out the layout of the bedrooms, because the ladders down are in the bedroom. I was thinking that was because it was like kind of a private area for them. I'd like to think that at least the sister will have people over to do seances and things like that, but it's still like not something that everyone that comes into their house should just be like open to going down there, you know. Obviously it's Sims, so they just do what they want, but like the concept of it, the design of it, I was thinking that I didn't make this family. I considered it, and I still might at some point, because I really like the kind of story I thought up for them, because it was like, initially I feel like they were, I don't know if ashamed of their powers is the right word, but they were like hiding it. They weren't really open with what they were and what they did, and hence why like this is the house that they chose, or how they built their house. Maybe they built this house because the basement does seem very customized to their needs, but they were secretive about it, and it was not something that they let everyone in on, you know, as soon as they came into their house. But I like to think that as the years went by and they got more comfortable with themselves and what they did, and they were supporting each other, I think they opened up a bit more and became more comfortable with what they are and what they do in terms of the paranormal, the magical and all that. And slowly but surely their more eccentric, magical, kind of whimsical style started to creep into their house, and that is why it now looks like it does. It's very quite colourful. It's got a lot of items obviously from the Paranormal pack and the Realm of Magic pack to try and just make it look kind of magical, kind of supernatural in a way. Not supernatural, but you know, not your average suburban villa, you know what I mean? And I'm cluttering up quite a lot here. There's going to be a lot of clutter just using debug objects and just regular clutter objects from both of the packs. I wanted it to be, it's not overly cluttered, this place, really. I cluttered up the kitchen because I always do, but the other rooms really aren't that overly cluttered. Like, I usually try to like do things like clutter up bedside tables and coffee tables quite a bit, mainly because I like having places look lived in. But I think I didn't do that much this build, or at all really, because I felt like, coming back to what I said before, there's so much going on with like all the colors and the patterns and the shapes, and I love it and I think it really fits this build. But that also made me feel like too much clutter would be too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? I wanted there to be a sort of a balance. I didn't want this to be like insane in terms of clutter. Like, I feel like a build like this with insane amount of clutter, like that definitely has its place, but that would be a bit of a different style of build, and I would picture that for a different kind of sim. I think these siblings are not super like disorganized or clutter crazy. I think they're pretty tidy in general. Like, they're pretty organized, pretty tidy. They got their shit together, you know what I mean? And this is one of the bathrooms. I literally just copy and paste this over to the other bathrooms. They're both en suites, so they don't technically have a bathroom that a guest can use without going into one of their bedrooms, which I guess is a bit counterintuitive to what I said before about keeping their paranormal talents private, since the ladders down to their paranormal basement are in the bedrooms, and then guests have to go into the bedrooms to go to the bathroom. But there was only so much space I had to work with. I had decided the shape of the house, this is what it had to be. I didn't want to make it just one bathroom because I felt like, you know, this is their own home. They have their own separate bedrooms. They should have separate bathrooms. You know, they're two adult siblings, and, you know, maybe they'll eventually have partners. They have double beds. They could have partners, and then they would definitely want separate bathrooms, I would like to think. Speaking of that, you can fit 4 Sims in this build. There are 4 chairs for the dining table. You can sleep 4 Sims in here if you would like. If you maybe would like to have 2 couples living here, or maybe a couple and a child who could take a separate bedroom, maybe a teenager or something like that. You could make it 2 elder Sims and their adult child and their partner, you know, whatever family dynamic you would like. This was just kind of what I was picturing as I was building this. And the more I talk about this family, the more I talk about these siblings, I really want to make them and put them up on the gallery, and maybe make them, I would make them pack restricted as well. Because yeah, this is only Realm of Magic, Paranormal Stuff Pack, and base game. As I have said, just felt the need to reiterate that it was a challenge, but it was fun. It was fun to do, and it made it easier, but it also made me aware of just how little we have in terms of some things when it comes to like base game, like especially in terms of art and paintings and plants. I was aware of that before, but I think when you actually restrict yourself properly, it becomes even more apparent how much you can struggle with decorating when you're restricting yourself to certain packs. And here I'm just working on a little reading nook. I use these ceiling lights from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. They're huge. I think they're made for a taller ceiling height. No, I don't think. I know they're made for a taller ceiling height because they reach almost to the floor. But I sized them down, and I was worried that they would show, like, you know, sometimes when you size lights down, the actual, like, light bloom stays outside of the lamp. Do you understand what I mean? Does that make sense? But that didn't happen with these ones, which I was very grateful for, so I could use them. And I realized I need to put some skill building items. I obviously have the bookcase, and then I'll have the stuff downstairs, but I wanted some more normal things. I put the chest table. They don't have a computer, mainly because I couldn't fit it anywhere. The bedrooms, because the ladders are in the bedrooms, like the design and layout of the bedrooms are quite cramped, and I had to, especially the sister's bedroom, I struggled with quite a bit, and the initial design for that room, or the layout, is actually off camera because I really struggled to make it work, and then I couldn't make it work with the ladder because her ladder is quite in an awkward place. But I did make it work eventually. Her bed is up against the wall rather than in the middle of the room as her brother's bed is, but it works. It's fine. But yeah, there's no space really, and I also felt like, you know, the only place I could think of was where that armchair is by the entrance, and I was like, just walking in and just having a computer there, like, it doesn't really fit the vibe. You know what I mean? If you wanted to put a computer, you could probably, like, right where I'm working now, you could probably remove that and put a computer there if you absolutely wanted a computer. Like, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for me, for this build, it just wasn't a priority, and it just wasn't something that I really wanted for them or felt was necessary. And now I'm starting to work on the bedrooms. They're going to be largely Realm of Magic. I do like these new side tables we got with the Paranormal Stuff Pack, but they are huge. They are ridiculously huge. If you size them down, first of all, they become hard to clutter or even put things on in general, and also they almost became too small when I sized them down. Now I know I could have used Tool to size them down like in smaller increments and make them the exact size I wanted, but I felt like it really wasn't that important to do. Like, I wasn't that fussed to use the Realm of Magic ones because obviously it fits with the bed. I love the Realm of Magic double beds. I love them. They're so extra. Like, they're so over the top. I absolutely love them. I want a bed like that. Oh, really? Like, making this and using the Realm of Magic, like, beds and other pieces of furniture made me inspired to do more magical builds. Like, and now I just want to make, like, this big house that's just for, like, a dark magic family. Like, it's all, like, the dark wood and black swatches of the Realm of Magic objects, and that's just all through the house, and it's just this family that just specializes in evil, dark magic, and I just want to make them a huge mansion, and they're just old family. Yeah, it sounds like the Malfoys, I know. That was just kind of what I was getting inspired to do, so I might do that at some point, but that's a big project. But yeah, now I'm on to the sisters' bedroom. I love these rugs. I wish we had a little bit more neutral swatches that weren't just like white or grey, because sometimes those colors that they have, while absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, sometimes they're a bit too much. You saw earlier, I couldn't use it in the living room because with the colors, it was too much. Too much for the living room. And I forgot to mention the couch in the living room. Like I said, that couch is absolutely gorgeous. I've seen several people say that it looks like CC. It looks like custom content, that couch. It looks like Max and Match custom content, and I agree, it's absolutely gorgeous. And more of that, please. More of that kind of thing. It is so beautiful, and I love the colors that it comes in. It was a bit of a struggle to match the love seat because it's like they match, but kind of. It's if you've used it, you probably know what I mean. Like, some of the swatches are like kind of weird to match, but I made it work. But yes, now I'm finally starting to work on the basement, and this is the brothers' magical little room with the cauldron, all the magical cupboards. He's got a wand. I had to use the fireplace because, of course, I have to use the fireplace. I also put a bookcase down here that kind of looks crammed in the corner, but trust me, it is absolutely usable. And I clutter. I love cluttering up magical rooms. Like, this is probably the most clutter. No, this is definitely the most clutter that I put in this build. You will see I put down more. Don't worry, there will be more. But I love cluttering up magical rooms. I love building with the Realm of Magic pack. It's probably one of my favorite packs to build with, because I don't know, I just think all the items are so beautiful. They're gorgeous. They make really good clutter. Like these potion bottles, and you know, they'll sit there, and when you actually are in live mode, they bubble and things come out of them. And that broom, the broom that you could just stick on the wall, it's so good. I love this pack, and I love building with it, and I love just making like a whimsical, cluttered, magical workshop, basically, where you can study magical spells and brew potions and just chill out for a bit, have your own space down here. But yeah, this is the brothers' workshop room type thing. I do put doors down, so there's a bit of a transition in between. If I were to actually play in this room, I would probably lock those doors for anyone but the siblings, so that like if the sister has people over, they can't just wander into the magical workshop, because, you know, her brother might want to just, you know, have his privacy, and vice versa. And now I'm finally working on the final room in the house, which is the sisters' seance basement, and I love this room. I love how it came out. I think it's perfect. It has just the right mood, just the right vibe. I've got one of the Guidry, is that how you say it? The ghost, one of his portraits down here. I've got the fireplace. That fireplace right now is actually too close. The table is too close to the fireplace to be able to light it. So you'll see in the screenshots, the table is scooted over just a tiny bit. But other than that, everything works. I playtested all my builds. Everything works just fine. And I just basically went into the Paranormal pack and I just pulled out everything. Like, this was where I really went ham with the pack. Like, upstairs I tried to like curb it a little bit and have in items from the magical packs, some base game packs. I did not make it too much. But down here I just went ham. I just went in with all the debug objects, all the decorations, the plants, everything. I just wanted this to be a room that used up as many of the items from the Paranormal stuff pack as I could possibly do. And we are coming up to the screenshots very, very soon. This build is fully playtested and available on the gallery. My ID is Zambina. All the details for the lot are down in the description, as well as links to the mods that I use. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any thoughts on this build, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates. One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sundays. Mama set the pace. Daydream.